Hello, welcome to our show. We are back. Anybody that is living in Kelowna or the surrounding areas or planning on moving here, this show is for you. I'm here to showcase our beautiful communities, to talk about our vibrant city, and also showcase the lovely people that make it all happen. Welcome to the Okanagan Real Estate Show. My name is Marika. I've been a realtor for 16 years now, and with real estate being such a hot topic, literally, in our city these days, I thought it was really important to bring back our show and really give consumers an idea of what actually is going on in our real estate market. A lot of people don't know. We listen to what's going on in the news, but in all honesty, our market changes daily, and I can see it from just doing the stats month to month, and even the last couple days, the amount of listings that have been brought back onto the market, the amount of listings that have been sold. Because of the wildfires, we've had a little bit of a slowdown this last week, and our hearts are truly with all the people that are helping, the firefighters, the people that have been evacuated. I know right now in Glen Rosa, there are about 500 homes still under alert, and only a handful is still under an evacuation order, but we can talk a little bit about that later. Without further ado, let's dive into our hot topics of the show. First of all, I think it's very important to address a few things regarding the fires. And the most important thing that's going to affect homeowners, people purchasing property, and those evacuees is insurance. So we're going to talk a little bit about insurance and how that's going to affect everybody. So first of all, if you are purchasing or selling a property, we always put an insurance clause into our subjects. Now, nowadays, subjects are coming in, or offers are coming in subject free, so you might forget about that clause. I urge you to reconsider. At this point, there have been some instances where the bank, if you're getting financing, the bank won't even look at the deal unless they know for sure that insurance is in place or is going to be in place. So I urge you to make sure you have that in your subjects, and make sure that on the day of your offer, you start calling around to companies to ensure that your property can be insured. We've been talking a little bit at our office about possibly transferring over insurance from one person to another, but it doesn't seem to be something that brokers are open to doing. It hasn't really been done. It can be done, is what the thought process is, but we haven't been seeing it much. So best option is to throw in that insurance subject into your offer, and make sure that you call around. I'm going to put a list of companies that are still doing underwriting with the fires going on and that have been approving clients, so that you guys have all that information. And just make sure you talk to your realtor. They're going to have the same information for you. It's always best to just be prepared. You don't want to be, at the 11th hour not knowing what's going to happen and not getting insurance. Okay. So sellers also, it's all, if you're living in a condominium, for example, or a duplex, it takes us about 10 days to order documents to even get the insurance papers. So as a seller, if you have that information handy, just hand it over to us, or get us a copy, email us a copy of the insurance. We can even upload it to the matrix where our listings are located, so that buyers are able to see that. It makes it so much easier because they're 100%. And even having that notice to provide to a lender to make sure that a condominium building and whole property is under insurance is going to help out so much, and it's going to move things along. It might even win that multiple offer for you guys. Yes, we're still having multiple offers. I lost a couple last week, but I did win one. So I mean, it's tough. We're writing lots of offers these days. really putting our best foot forward and encouraging clients and educating clients as to what really is going on. The last thing I do is want to tell you to pay $100,000 over list on a property, but that's what's happening. So anyways, let's get back to insurance. So for a moment, I wanted to talk about the evacuees. So anybody that owns a property is going to have home insurance. That's going to cover any kind of damage that's going to happen to your home due to a fire or any kind of, event that is unexpected. It's important to have that information handy somewhere, whether it's in your, toolkit, your evacuation kit, or your handy to go bag. You've got copies of it, maybe copies of it on your phone, just to know who you should be contacting if something does happen. Now, you don't need to contact them right away. Most of the time, you're going to be busy evacuating. Once everything has settled down, then you're able to contact them and make sure you keep track of all your expenses while you're evacuated. Because oftentimes, if you're displaced, they will cover your expenses, like hotel, etc. Each policy is probably a little bit different depending on, who your provider is. So it's important to know what's covered, what's not. Maybe triple check that. I met with a client yesterday and they live on the west side, not close to one community over from Glen Rosa. And you know what? They just, it was getting close. They could see it through their backyards. Probably wasn't going to get to them, but they're like, you know what? We just had a small bag packed, passports, important documents, threw it in the car, grabbed the kids, grabbed the dogs, grabbed all the animals, and just took off, So it's better to, do preventative things and not be stuck at, 1 a.m. or 11 p.m. trying to evacuate. To be honest, I know firsthand how that feels. A few years ago, we had some crazy fires in Traders Cove. So Traders Cove is up West Side Road on the way to Fintry, just on the lake there, on the west side of the lake, of the bridge, sorry. And so my family and I were living there. We had a house there. And of course, one night, a fire broke out. So it was an electrical fire. It was really windy up there. You can imagine being by the lake, a little bit high up on a hill, super windy, and one of the electrical posts fell on West Side Road, and it actually started a humongous fire, and I'm talking huge. I had just had eye surgery in Vancouver, so I was driving back, and of course the doctor said, well, Marika, you go home, you need to rest, you keep your eyes closed for at least 4 hours and then sleep, and you need your eyes to heal. So what happens? We get home from Vancouver around dinner time, plan on going to bed early, did. 10 o'clock comes and there's knocks on our door and we're being evacuated. So the whole community got evacuated. Luckily, we were able to go down West Side Road towards the Lake Okanagan Resort, and that's where they housed us. So we actually got to be roomies with one of our best friends and a fellow realtor who also was one of our neighbors. So they gave us a nice little condo that we got to hang out in for a few days. Brought the dog, had the kids, everybody. All I brought was my family and my laptop. Yeah, that's about it. So, you don't think. So yeah, super important to be prepared. But anyways, long story short, we were at the resort, and next thing you know, a fire broke out on the Vernon side of West Side Road. So if you can think about it, the resort's here, the Traders Cove fire's here, and the Vernon fire's here. So we were stuck right there at the resort. On day 3, they ended up running out of food, so we had nothing to eat. But luckily we had a friend a couple minutes down the road on the lake who happened to be at his cabin, and he's like, hey, I've got lots of food, why don't you guys come down? So we zipped over there, had some food, and really the only way in and out was through the lake. So we waited another little bit and finally were able to drive into town through Vernon and stay at the Capri. So if you can imagine, it was a huge ordeal. So I I feel for you people that are displaced right now. I know how it feels, and I know what it feels like to think you're going home to nothing. And it really sucks. It's sad. So I'm really glad to see lots of community support. There's fundraisers for all sorts of the people. I know there's lots of people wanting to provide food and cook for you guys, but unfortunately that's not allowed. I think in some places they're, sneaking that kind of stuff through. I don't see why it shouldn't be allowed, as long as it's, clean and everything's kosher, then, I think it's acceptable. Okay, so enough about my fire story, which is like super crazy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our second hot topic today, which is a subject clause called force majeure. Now, that's fancy in French for superior force. So this is a clause that we put into contracts. And basically when we know there's stuff going on like COVID, wildfire season, anything kind of major like that we know there's a possibility to hinder a transaction from happening and going through, especially these days, we put that clause in. So, basically what it is a clause stating that if anything major happens to the community, the person, the property, whatever, anything major happens that's going to affect the transaction in such a way that you cannot complete on completion day. You cannot move out on possession day. Basically what it does is it stops everything from happening without any penalties. I've never had to actually enforce this clause, but we do put it in just to be safe. You never know, especially nowadays, if, let's say you have an offer on a property and are supposed to be moving in like this weekend. Well, if it's in Glen Rosa, it's probably not gonna. So just be wary of that. We're not gonna leave you guys hanging and not knowing what the heck's gonna happen next. If you're not using a realtor, I would think twice. There's so much that goes into a deal, and it's a constant, even through the subject removal process, it's a constant, every day something comes up and constantly something to deal with. It's not all smooth sailing, especially when, stuff like this is happening and we've got fires and, displaced people and people with, nothing, needing food and clothes, and last thing they want to do is worry about, their move, which is probably stressing them out already. All right. So anyways, I wanted to keep it short and sweet today. I do want to talk a little bit about the market stats. So I love doing the weekly stats. Every Friday, I get to see kind of what happened in the week. Like I mentioned, I do see a little bit of a jolt in listings these last couple days that are coming through. It was a little bit quiet there for a while. And I know my clients are like, what's going on? Where's everybody? So this last week, 7 days, so Friday to Friday, and of course we don't usually have too many listings we activated on the weekends, but Monday to Friday is, where the majority of it's going to pop up. So 217 listings, which is a lot, which is great. Sold listings, well, I did the numbers, and 95% of those listed sold on average. I mean, these solds could have been from weeks prior, but if you look at it on a weekly basis, we've got 217 solds and 217 listed and 207 sold. So that's a lot. I mean, that leaves 5% of the homes that are maybe overpriced or having offers collapse. I've been seeing that a lot. You wonder why a home's on the market for so long. Well, it's either overpriced, the seller might have some time to wait and wants a certain number for the house, or there's been numerous attempts at purchasing it, but all the offers are collapsing. So we're seeing tons of that. People are still jumping the gun, not ready, and offering, lots of money over price, not being able to follow through with their financing. So yeah, offers collapse, and what happens is, you list a property, let's say you get an offer that day. Well, they usually get 2 weeks for subject removals if it's not a subject-free offer. So after 2 weeks, some people like to wait the whole 2 weeks to let you know, hello, if you know your financing's not going to happen in the first couple days, let us know. Then we can put the house back on the market and start pumping it out. But anyway, so 2 weeks. Let's say they say, okay, we can't remove subjects. So what do? Well, we get it back up there. We reach out to everybody, blow that listing out, get in some more exposure. Oh, another offer comes in. Perfect. This one, they shortened their subject removal time. So we've got a week for subjects. Okay, so another week. Hey, guess what? We can't remove subjects. We can't get financing. Okay, so that's already 3 weeks sitting there without anything happening, and we still need to get another offer. So I know people are always like, oh, well, this one's been sitting for so long. Well, you know what? There's often lots of different reasons that it happens. So make sure you ask, and you know what? I always ask. I find out all the information because I want to know what's been going on there. Anyway, so interesting. We've had 70 price drops in the last week. So what's that telling me? Well, I know that from June to July, single family homes went up 2%. It went from like 930 to 915 915 to 930, something like that. 2%. So if we're seeing all these price drops, hey, maybe we're going to see a little bit of softening in prices. I don't know. I'm not magic. I don't know what's going to happen. All I do know is that we have still very little inventory and a lot of buyers. So, with that, the demand is high, and with high demand, prices continue to go up, guys. Okay. Interesting. 4 price ups. So people are thinking that, oh, maybe we underpriced it to begin with. Let's get it up there at, a higher price because we want to make more money. It's all about the money. All right, so I think that's it for me today. I just wanted to quickly share with you guys, a few months ago, I brought a charity to Kelowna that I've been looking at for weeks and weeks and months, and after interviews and this and that, they chose me to be their lead coordinator. So I'm totally gearing up for a Christmas holiday campaign. What the Shoebox Project does is provide shoe boxes filled with gifts to women experiencing homelessness. So we work with the shelters. We work with, let's say, the Women's Shelter, Hope Okanagan, Caris Society, Now Canada. I've also reached out to The Bridge. The Bridge is one of our partners. And we help these organizations by providing them a beautiful box that's wrapped by us with some special things inside. So, of course, we do the essentials. Shampoo, conditioner, body lotion, face creams, toothpastes and toothbrushes, anything, scrunchies, hair ties, stuff like that, any woman would really like to receive that is experiencing homelessness and doesn't have anything. We also throw in something special. So I think for me, like one of those more luxurious items would be some makeup, a candle to burn, maybe even a book or a journal. Another thing that we like to throw in, sorry, my face is so itchy, is gift cards. So you could do a $5 gift card to, like, let's say Tim Hortons, or maybe even a movie card. Who wouldn't want to see a movie these days if, they're stuck without a place to live and having to stay at the shelter? Tim Hortons card, Starbucks card, Save on Foods card, Walmart card, anything like that, restaurant card, that will provide some help. 2 more things. So we like to throw in something sweet, chocolates, candies, anything like that that's going to just make someone's day and, help that sweet tooth out. And lastly, something super special is a card. So we like to write on the card something special, some kind of message of hope, or just something to show these women that we care and that we're here and that, we're trying to help them. And, there's so many programs out there. I've spoken to so many, members of our community that are, either starting programs in terms of skill development, ways that other people that are homeless can make money, so essentially jobs, or trade work for food cards, gift cards, stuff like that. So I think it's awesome. We have a long way to go, but every little bit helps. Thank you guys so much. If anybody needs to call me, you can probably find me. My cell is 778-214-1773. And thank you so much. I'm super excited for next week. We'll have some awesome hot topics, and I'll let you know how our Shoebox fundraiser is going. So enjoy your weekend.